The other day, I visited, and you'll have to excuse the room. We're still doing some changes, but the other day I was visiting Target, which is something that I do on a semi-regular basis. I don't know. I work like right next door to one, which had some pretty interesting events happening today. Anyways, and I regularly go back into the electronics area, into the into right next to the toys and stuff. We get Legos. And by the way, you'll have to excuse the roommates. They don't care that we stream live and they make a lot of noise. But anyways, and I go back there because I find that it has some of the most amazing that area with has the most amazing selection of books that I could find at a major retailer that is not specifically designed or doesn't specifically sell more books than anything. And I mean, of course, they also, they get like Funko Pops and stuff too. Found the Bumblebee today, the one I'd been meaning to pick up, but just hadn't yet. Anyways, this is not that one. And I've purchased a lot of books from from Target over the course of the past year or so. And I've never been as touched by a book as I was by by this one. And it's a children's book. It was written apparently back in 2016 and written by Michael Hall, and it's by the title, of course, by it's called Red, a Crayon story. And I stood in the back of this Target, and I picked up another book, and it's called Harvey Milk and the History of the Gay Pride Flag. Another children's book. It's amazing, by the way, that children's books sometimes give us the best insight and sometimes show us through the eyes of children the best parts about being who we are as people. And so I'm going to read this today, and I hope that you enjoy this. This is all it's going to be. It's not going to be a very long stream. And I hope that you're as touched by this book as I was, and that I continue to be, because it's so good. And it is, again, and by the way, if you would like to go and read the story behind this book, I linked it in the description. I actually provided a link in the description. I didn't just say it was going to happen, but actually provided a link in the description to Michael Hall's website. And I do recommend that you purchase this book if you find it, even if to give it to somebody else who needs something like this. But it's called Red, a Crayon story. And the inside flap, of course, is great if it's not showing up very well. But it says, "This is a story about a crayon I know. I wrote it for you." And I'm not great at this because I'm not the president, so and I don't get to like read books to kids and stuff. It says, "He was red. But he wasn't very good at it." Olive says, "Oh dear." His teacher thought he needed more practice. "I'll draw a red strawberry. Then you draw a red strawberry. You can do this, really," said Scarlet to Red. but he couldn't, really. Like this? Red asked. Scarlet replies, "Oh my, let's try this again." His mother, sorry, let me see if I can get the lighting correct. His mother thought he needed to mix with other colors. Olive says, "Why don't you two go out and draw a nice round orange?" Yellow says, "A really big one." And Red says, "A really orange one." But they made a big greenish one. "Yuck," says Yellow. "Oops," says Red. His grandparents thought he wasn't warm enough. Silver says, "Your class is making self-portraits for Parents' Night. Wear this warm red scarf." Gray says, "Nice. It's so you." But it so wasn't. Crimson and violet, and you can see written in purple and teal, and green and orange. Silver says, "Oh dear me." Everyone seemed to have something to say. Amber says, "Sometimes I wonder if he's really red at all." Hazelnut said, "Don't be silly. It says red on his label." Cocoa Bean says, "He came that way from the factory." Fuchsia says, "Frankly, I don't think he's very bright." Grape says, "Well, I think he's lazy." Army Green, "Right. He's got to press harder." Steel Gray goes on, "Really apply himself." "Give him time. He'll catch on," says Sunshine. And Sea Green says, "Of course he will." But he didn't catch on. Green frog, black sheep, brown cow, red, ah, can't draw the red ant. Pardon me for a moment. All of the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought he was broken inside. "This will hold you together." The scissors thought his label was too tight. "One snip should do it." I thought he wasn't sharp enough. Stay still now. But even with all our help and all of his hard work, he just couldn't get the hang of it. One day, he met a new friend, Barry. Will you make a blue ocean for my boat? I can't. I'm red, Barry responds. Will you try? So he did. Barry says, Thank you. It's perfect. Red says, You're welcome. That was easy. And he didn't stop there. Bluebells and blue jeans, blue bird and blueberries and a blue well. I'm blue. He was blue. And everyone was talking. My son is brilliant, says Olive. Amber said, Who could have known he was blue? Hazelnut chimes in, I always said he was blue. Cocoa Bean, it was obvious. Barry says, His blue ocean really lifted me. Sea Green says, All of his work makes me happy. Brown, his blue strawberries are my favorites. Apple Green, he's so intense. Yellow says, I'm going to make a green lizard with him, a really big one. Gray says, I hear he's working on a new project. Scarlet says, he is really reaching for the sky. And he really was. For Deborah. I uh, I hope that even if this doesn't apply to you, that you can see why this book is important. I recommend buying it. Read it to children, but have children read it to you. This makes me think of someone that is in my life, um, that I don't think this that this person in my life is noticed. I don't think that this person in my life is is respected. I think that a lot of people expect that this person in my life to continue to be read, because that's how this person came from the factory, red. But she's not red, she's blue. and I love her for it. Thank you for those of you that came by. It matters. I just wanted to read this because it mattered to me a lot. So I love you guys. I've read your comments, by the way. I love you guys. Uh, and I'm gonna I'm gonna get out of here. I thank so much again for everybody that came by, and I recommend again. It's Michael Hall's Red, a Crayon story. Please, it's at Target. That's where I found it. It's also, I think, at Barnes and Noble and other book bookseller places. So smile, be kind to one another, and remember, in some ways, maybe your maybe